Hi guys, good morning. My name is Dr. Corin Stalky. I'm the director of Celino Health, which is a health company based out of Wellington in New Zealand. We're here on Cuba Street today, our headquarters, and we're going to be talking all about chronic fatigue and chronic fatigue management using maca. So a lot of people think that maca is very simple. You just put it in your smoothie and it helps you with your health. But what we're going to talk about today is using maca for complex conditions. It's actually a little bit more difficult than that. So my background with chronic fatigue, I had chronic fatigue for a couple of years when I was a little bit younger, in my 20s, and I've since made a full recovery. So my background also is as a medical researcher, and so when I look at approaching chronic fatigue management, if any of you have come to any of the talks that I give, it's an integration of Western health, of scientific evidence, but also of holistic and integrative health, and ways in which we can use natural solutions to manage chronic fatigue. I'm just going to refresh in case we have any questions, online questions. So if you guys have any questions, you can send them through, and hopefully we can answer them today. So let's start by talking a little bit about maca. Maca is a medicinal root, for those of you that don't know, that grows only in Peru, above 4,000 meters in the Andean mountains. And maca has been used for thousands of years by the Incan people to help regulate and balance the body and return the body back to full health after and during times of stress. So I used maca a lot in my recovery from chronic fatigue, but I was very fortunate to learn about maca from the Piclucunin in Peru and the way in which they approach using it traditionally. So most people have heard of maca, they see it as a powder, as a superfood, and they add it into their smoothies. But there's a lot of things you need to know about maca. Firstly, there's 3 different colors of maca. So we have yellow maca, red maca, and black maca. And they all have different unique properties. The second thing that we need to know is that maca is not meant to be consumed raw, so it's always meant to be cooked. So at the moment there's a big raw food fad around the world, and people are promoting the idea of using these superfoods in a raw form. This goes against 2,000 years of tradition in Peru, and our research has actually shown that consuming raw maca can make your chronic fatigue worse. And the reason behind this is because raw maca firstly can have negative impact on your thyroid function because of the high glucosinolate content. But secondly, and this is the most important, raw maca has a high risk for mold, and the mold that grows on maca produces aflatoxins, and these chemicals we've found in samples of maca that has not been properly dried from Peru and exported, and if it's not cooked and boiled and the mold isn't killed, then these aflatoxins can get into your system and they can upset your gut biome, and this can have really bad, disastrous effects on your overall health. So these are the things that we say. If you're going to eat maca, firstly know where your maca is sourced, what form of maca that you're consuming, what color of maca you're consuming, and the other thing you need to know is the macamide concentration. So on our maca, we standardize this, we put it on the back of our packet. These are the bioactive components that work in our endocannabinoid and endocrine system to bring us back to balance. So those are the 3 key things when it comes to maca. So let's talk about the colors. What are the different colors and how do they work? Well, yellow maca is the most common form of maca. It's 70% of the entire harvest. And yellow maca is what they call the neutral form of maca. So in Peru, the shamans will say that maca is a feminine essence, it's a feminine plant, la maca. And they say that they always refer to her as she. So 70% of your harvest, the same seeds will produce all 3 colors. 70% will turn into yellow maca, about 20% will turn into red maca, and about 10% turn into black. So the shamans say that the yellow is for everyone. This is the way she wants it. This is why she makes yellow the most abundant. And it's the neutral form of maca. So it is used for general health and well-being, for endocrine function and balance, for hormonal balance, mental health, for managing stress, for thyroid function. It also helps with mental cognition and overall energy. But the red and the black forms, they say, are saved for the shamans for specific medicinal treatments. So we study maca at the University of Victoria in Wellington, and we've shown that there's big differences in the bioactive profiles between the three colors. And the black and red have different components to the yellow. So if you ask traditionally how it works, what they say is that the red form of maca is the feminine essence of maca. And this is what they call the form of maca that gives you back that internal nourishment. So it's used to help nourish. In Peru, they use it for nourishing blood, for bones, for internal organs, for hormones, for mental health, for anxiety. In men, it's good also for prostate function. So they say that the red essence is that feminine, nurturing, nourishing part of maca that you need to rebuild your body. It's almost like the fuel for the body. And without putting in the red, you could be burning up energy that you don't have. So it's a very important form of maca that you need to consume. Generally, it's consumed more by women. And the reason for that is it works more with the hormonal side of the body and regulating the cycles. So that's the red form of maca. The black form of maca is a bit different. The black form is the masculine essence of the plant. And the way that this works is more of a, not a stimulating effect, because it's not a stimulant, but more of an energizing effect. So black maca is used more externally for muscular strength, for stamina, for endurance. It's very good for mental focus and concentration, for brain fog, and it enhances the energy use of the body. So think of it like if you've got a car, red maca is your fuel to build and boost the energy, and black maca is the engine to convert that energy into the performance enhancing aspect. So the two of them actually go hand in hand. They're used in synergy. And the whole thing with maca is when you talk to the shamans and the way they use it in Peru, you have to use all three colors. Generally, like we said, yellow is used every day. This is your baseline maca. This is to help long-term rebuild your body. But you go to your red and black when you have chronic conditions. And like I said, women are going to use more red than black, but they still need black as well. And men are going to use more black than red, but they still need red. So the way in which we produce our maca is in line with those traditions. And basically what we do is we have our yellow maca in the gelatinized or activated form, which is a pressure heated form, so it's ready to eat. You don't need to recook this. There's no risk for thyroid damage. There's no risk for the aflatoxins and the mold. And this is all done in Peru. So this form of maca we recommend, if you're using it for chronic fatigue, you would be taking starting maybe with around 1 teaspoon per day and adding it into your meals. And for those of you that don't know how to eat maca, we have a book. We also have these recipes on our website, and we've got 16 ways you can consume it, from putting it in smoothies, obviously is the obvious, but hot drinks, teas, frappes, lattes, pancakes, porridge, soups, stews. So if you need some more information, you can always download our book or download the recipes. So you want to be starting with about 1 teaspoon per day, seeing how your body responds, and then slowly increasing that dose. And particularly for chronic fatigue, you may find that you need higher doses. So I used to take, probably starting on 1 teaspoon a day, I'd take up to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day of yellow maca in the long run to get my body back to balance. So we say start with 1 teaspoon. You want to be aiming for around 1.5 to 2 teaspoons per day. It's better to have it in the morning when you wake up, to have it with your breakfast, and then give your body maybe a little bit of time to adjust, and then you can start introducing the red and the black. So our red and black forms of maca are in a different presentation. It's called atomized maca. So this presentation is completely novel and unique. You can't get this anywhere else in New Zealand. We're the only company that produces it in this form. Atomized maca is 10 times more concentrated. And basically 10 times more potent, and it's a high dose extracted form. I've just got a question. Is there anywhere in Christchurch to buy the black maca? I think, I don't think we have any local stockists in Christchurch. Staywell Pharmacy, I think, is the only one in Hornby. Mark, who works at Staywell, Staywell Man, he stocks our product. We're going to be at the Go Green Expo next Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be selling it there. You can buy it online, direct through the website, and we have free shipping. But yeah, if you know of any local health stores, you can always as well ask them to stock it. We stock it, our yellow marker, at Pico, at Whole Foods in Riccarton, at the Lincoln Pantry, and we're going to be stocking at the Harbour Co-op in Littleton as well. Staywell Pharmacy is the other one, but I think Staywell have our black in stock, so you can always contact them. If not, you can buy it online, or come see us at Go Green. We're going to have some deals at Go Green next Saturday, Sunday. So when it comes to the red and black, what we've done, because the way in Peru that they treat with red and black is they create high dose extracts, concentrates. They boil this root down and they extract it out over and over again. So the replication of this for exporting is what we call atomized maca. It's, like I said, 10 times more concentrated. I'll give you an example. For 10 kilos of fresh black maca, you remember this is only 10% of the entire harvest, we produce 4 kilos of our gelatinized activated powder and only 400 grams of our atomized maca. So it's ultra concentrated, 10 kilos to 400 grams. So these come in 3 gram single serve sachets, and the way that you would take this is you would take a sachet on that given day. I normally have it at lunchtime. So I'll have my yellow in the morning and I'll have my red and black at lunch, depending on what I need. So the question that we have asked a lot is, well, when do you take the red, when do you take the black? Because a lot of people say, so red is internal nourishment, how do I know I need more internal nourishment? Black is more external, how do I know I need more external? And I think the best way to do this is to look at the symptoms. So I'm going to put this chart up with this information up with this video. But basically in Peru, they look at the symptoms that you're experiencing on that day, and they try and match the symptoms to the maca. So like I said, you have your yellow in the morning. When do you take black maca? They say we take black maca when you're feeling more tired. It goes well with tiredness, with depression, with pain, with muscular tension. And this is a big symptom to look for. When you're suffering with chronic fatigue like I was, I would get a lot of muscular tension, particularly in the neck and shoulders, and that would go up into the head, and it would often give me migraines. So on days when you're really feeling that tension, and that tension as well comes with emotions. So in Peru, they'll look at your emotions on the day. They say with things like frustration, if you're feeling really frustrated, you're feeling short-tempered, and you're feeling internal anger, this is the perfect day to be having your black maca. And often that goes with the tension in the head, the migraine, the pain. Brain fog is a big one. If you're waking up and you're feeling that detachment, so the idea that your brain is foggy, your head is not detached to your body, and you're feeling a big disconnect, this is the perfect day to have your black maca. Muscle weakness, so muscle atrophy, muscle fatigue, shortness of breath as well. So if you find that you can't catch your breath, you're feeling short of breath, then this is an ideal. And then the other one for black maca is joint stiffness. So these are more external symptoms, and the external symptoms align with the external nourishment. If we're looking at red maca, if you're waking up on a given day and you're feeling exhaustion, so this is a bit different to tiredness. Tiredness is fatigue. Exhaustion is when you're wiped out, you've got no fuel. Anxiety is a big one. So black is more about depression. It's about a lack of activity in the brain and feeling sadness, whereas red is more about overactivity, anxiousness. You need to refuel that body. Palpitations as well. So if you find that your heart's racing, red is a calming influence. It's a beautiful calming influence on the body. Mood swings, so if you find that almost, we say for like bipolarity is big, if you're feeling like your moods are fluctuating. Another big one for red is sugar craving. So the reason that you're craving sugar is because you feel like you need that fuel in your body, but it's the wrong sugar to take. So Sugar craving, excessive sweating is a big one. Feeling of slight fever, and I used to get this a lot with chronic fatigue in the afternoon and the evening in particular. Tinnitus, so if you have ringing in the ears. Achy bones, particularly in the lower back, and poor sleep. So this is the chart that we use. We're going to make these up and put them on the website. There's going to be a blog article about this as well, because I think managing chronic fatigue with maca is something that is not black and white. So what I would say to you is, if you're using maca to treat chronic fatigue, everyone should be on the daily yellow maca. And first thing to do is optimize your dose. So start slow and low and increase, and then start introducing your red and the black. And like I said, here is your list of symptoms. So tiredness, depression, pain, tension, headaches, brain fog, frustration. You're going to go with your black maca. If you wake up on that day, you're more exhausted, anxious, you have palpitations, mood swings, craving sugar, sweating, fever, tinnitus, achy bones, poor sleep, then go with your red maca that day. And this is what I mean, it is not black and white. You really need to see how you feel on any given day. We always say to people, it's not about just taking black maca or just taking red maca. Maca, like we said before, it's a feminine plant, it's an essence, and it has to work with your body. It's all about working with your symptoms and bringing that balance back. So if you're going to be using it to manage chronic conditions like chronic fatigue, you really need to be using it in the right way, because you can actually offset your body even more by not doing that. So this is our generic rule of thumb. Look at your symptoms and match it to your maca. I've just had a comment from Mark at Staywell Pharmacy. Yes, you can buy it at Staywell Pharmacy. So if you're in Christchurch, this is the best place to buy your red and black maca. And this is the simple way. So I'll share this chart with you, because I think this is a great explanation of how to match your maca to your symptoms. Some people ask us as well, what dose should you be taking? And there's no rule of thumb. Honestly, at the moment, we just came back from Peru. We're very, very jet lagged. I've been taking 3 sachets per day of my black maca, because I don't drink coffee, and I find that it really helps keep me on the ball. It helps with my brain fog. It helps with my mental health and capacity and my energy. And like I said, men are going to use more black than red, and women are going to probably use more red than black. If you have anxiety, red is great. If you have, like I said, you have trouble sleeping, red is great. It has a really nice calming influence. So there's no right or wrong. I'll give you a rough example. In 1 month, I'll probably consume about half to 3/4 of a bag of our ½ kilo yellow. I'll probably go through about 10 to 15 black maca and maybe about 5 red maca. So these boxes should almost last you 2 months as well. So what else? Well, we've got some talks coming up in Christchurch. We will be down for Go Green next weekend, like I said, on Saturday and Sunday. We're giving one talk on Sunday afternoon. It's just an introduction to chronic fatigue management. And then we have some talks at Pico. So we've got an introduction to maca. So if you guys want to know more, these talks you really should get along to. We're running these all around the South Island in August. We've got an introduction to maca at Pico on Tuesday. We're at Staywell Pharmacy talking all about chronic fatigue. And again, we will be talking a bit about maca during that talk, but there's a lot more information. And I think that's on Thursday. On Friday, we have advanced maca use. So if you're a practitioner and you really want to learn more about how you can use maca to manage different conditions, today we talked about chronic fatigue. We also will, in this workshop, talk about menopause management, premenstrual syndrome, managing thyroid dysfunction, chronic fatigue, mental health addiction. So we're going to, in those advanced workshops, it's a lot more complex. We talk about clinical studies, but if you're a practitioner and you want to really learn about maca and how to use it to best treat your patients, this is an awesome course to go to. And we supply you with all the information to take home. So that's on Friday at Pico, and on Sunday at Pico we're doing our chronic fatigue talk, Sunday afternoon. We're then on to Dunedin, Invercargill, Wanaka, Queenstown, the West Coast, and also Nelson. We have 2 talks. So get on our Facebook events, check out where we're going to be. The workshops are the best way to learn everything. You can become a maka expert. So I hope that's been useful. The other thing we haven't talked about today is GPX Cell Protect, which, like I said, we're going to talk about this at our workshops. This is my other product that I've produced specifically for chronic fatigue management. It's all about glutathione and boosting glutathione levels in the body and helping reduce down chronic inflammation. So I use these in combination, and I like to say that the maka is for our endocrine system and our hormonal system, and GPX and glutathione is for our immune system. It's helping with the autoimmune aspect of chronic fatigue. So we have a deal online. If you guys are interested as well, you can buy, I think, a red and black maka and a yellow. We have a discounted deal. And also check out your local stockists to see on our website. If you go to our maka page down the bottom, it's got a list of stockists in your region. So if you want to buy there. I have another question. When do you have talks in Wellington? Carissa, our next Wellington talk will be in September. We're going to hopefully be running a maka workshop with Common Sense Organics in Kilburnie, and we'll probably be running another chronic fatigue talk as well. We may as well be, I think we've got an advanced maka one we're going to be running at Wellworks Pharmacy. So yeah, those will be in September. So if you are on our Facebook events page, you can keep up to date with those. Will they be online? We actually have, so the question was, if you can't get to the talks, will they be online? We have a recording of one of our maka workshops we're hoping to upload at some point. And we are going to look at webinars in the future, so that's something that we're going to look into. If you do have any specific questions as well around maka, you can just email us or go to our contact page on the website, but just email us at info@Soleno Health, and we're happy to talk about anything. Like, we have people ask, can I take maka if I have hypothyroid issues? Can I take maka if I'm recovering from breast cancer? Can I? So these kinds of questions we can definitely answer. We have a lot on our FAQ page as well. If you have questions, that's a good place to look. But if you have product questions like, how do I use maka to treat this condition or whatever, we can definitely answer that and give you more info. Awesome, I think that's it for today. So yeah, if you do have any more questions, so I hope that makes sense. So just in summary, if we're using maka for chronic fatigue, we recommend using a combination of all 3 colors. Yellow is your daily. I would start with about 1 teaspoon and work my way up, and see how sensitive your body is. 1.5 to 2 teaspoons is the average dose, and then give your body some time to adjust, and then you can start introducing your red and your black. And the easiest way to do it is to look at your specific symptoms on those days. So this is exactly how they use it in Peru to treat. If you've never heard of atomized maka, it's an amazing form of maka. It's an ultra high dose version, and it's got a very, very mild caramel flavor profile. It dissolves almost instantly in hot water, and it's a really awesome form of maka. You don't necessarily need it every day, but for things like chronic fatigue, you may need it for a good 1 to 3 months. And also give it time. For me, maka took about maybe 8 to 12 weeks to really start feeling the benefits. I've been now taking it for years, and I swear by maka, this is the best thing that I've ever used for long-term management of health. Feel amazing when I take it. It's really good for mental health, particularly for people as well that have problems with depression or anxiety. If you're coming off medication, it's a really great tool, and we can share some of those stories with you. If you've got any questions, you can email us. Awesome. Well, thanks for your time today, guys, and we'll hopefully see you at Go Green next week in Christchurch. If you want some free tickets, we have a little giveaway. You just have to tag 2 friends that you'd like to take with you, like our page, and the first 10 people we're going to give away tickets. We'll post them down to you this week. And come see us at our stand next Saturday, Sunday. We've got some good specials for you. And also check out our book too. This is now available on the website. It's all about maka, the different forms of maka, the science behind it, the preparations. And it's good to be back in New Zealand after being on the farm for the last month. It's nice to have a hot shower for once. So awesome. Thanks guys for your support. We'll talk soon.